Hey How To Heaven watchers, viewers, YouTubers. Today we're doing a very short video. I always say that, it ends up going 15-20 minutes. This one's going to be short. And you saw the video where I put the headlights in, and what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to install LED taillights. On my Porsche 996. It's a 2000 996.1. So keep watching. So what's Cash sniffing out? Well, let's go look. So we got this delivery and we are going to unbox it and see what's in. Whoa, almost cut my billing label. Whatever you call that. Packing slip. Come on, baby. There it is. Whole lot of nothing. Hey, Cash. How's it going, buddy? What's going on today? Okay, here we go. Let's see what we got here. Oh, yeah. Maybe it's something for your doghouse. Sorry, buddy. Okay. There they are. Beautiful as ever. And packaged really well. Just lost a little drain tube. Okay. This is what they look like. And if you ask me, they look gorgeous. Sparkling in the sunlight. Now, on the back side, what we have here is we've got an LED light here. This plugs right into your harness, as do these, apparently. These plug in as well. Now, one thing that I did notice, this wire here goes from here, so it activates all these lights, is that these two are empty. And here's your drainage tubes. They leave you enough drainage tubes, plus the one that fell off. Let me get that back on here. This one right here fell off. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 drain tubes. Apparently they're worried about water getting into these. Let's hope that doesn't happen. So, going back to what I was saying, there's a light here, and that's this one. And then there's your, I believe that's your ballast resistor. And then you've got the turn signal right up here. Over here is a parking light. And the reverse light is missing, and so is this one. So we'll have to put the stock bulbs back in or swap those out for LED bulbs. So there you have that. That's what it looks like. One, the right side. So let's look at the car. Here's what the 2000 Porsche taillight looks like. And it's kind of a plain deal. Doesn't look modern. So let me turn it on for you and you can see what it looks like. So the bulb that's missing is the parking light. That's that one. So parking light, reverse light. Then you've got another parking light over there. This is your brake light. No, this is turn signal, and this is reverse. Okay, so let's see what we got. Here's the brake light. Of course, it doesn't work without the key. Forgive the beeping. Okay. Odd. No brake lights? Oh, it would help if I pushed the brake and not the clutch. There's your brake light. So that's parking brake over there. There's your reverse. Step one, pop the engine lid. So let's go ahead and lift this up. It's a very heavy deck lid, and you saw the video where I replaced the strut with a Porsche strut. Doesn't have a lot of pressure. It'll hold it up, it never falls down, but it won't pop up. Step one, remove the 10mm bolt that's on this side. Now this is on the 996. The 997 has a whole different setup, but there's only one 10mm bolt that you remove, and then you pull the housing this way. Comes right out, and then you disconnect this harness. And the way you disconnect it is you push this little tab here while pulling that out. If you're wondering what this little connector is right there, that's my power for my cameras. It's the reverse lead. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this harness that's on here off, and it's going to plug into the LED light. And again, remember that the LED light did not come with the reverse or the parking stop. So it's missing the reverse and the parking stop lamp. So as I showed you before, that was the right. Here's the left one, just as beautiful. And if you look in the back, once again, you have a connector here, a connector here. I don't believe there's oh, there is a connector here, and there. And these two don't have anything. So let's put the harness on, shall we? So moving over to the man cave part of my garage, yikers, here we are. Okay, so what have we? We have the factory light over there and the aftermarket light over here. So let's just see what we can see. You can see this one right there for sure. Now, we'll twist this and pull it out. Now you can see I converted to an LED bulb. Get to keep that because we won't need it. Then that bulb will go because it's going to go over to here, I believe. So let's just go ahead and undo these, take these out. Aha, turn signal. And this one is the reverse light. Man, these are tight. Okay. So here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and plug this harness in as best I can, and then try to activate the lights to see what comes on and what doesn't, so we can find out where these last two bulbs go. Okay, we go ahead and get this in. Just don't want this new housing to hit the ground. That would be not a good thing. All right, so we start with the parking light. And so what you have here is you have red LEDs there, and then you've got the side marker light. So far so good. Let's put the turn signal on via the emergencies. And that's looking smashing. Now we have a brake light and parking light, and then actually just a brake light, and then the reverse light. So let's go ahead and give that a shot, shall we? So we've got The reverse light is this one, and the brake light interesting. So we know this is the reverse light. But what is this? It's quite interesting. And we have a reverse light. So when I put it in reverse, we've got the reverse light. So we know this is reverse. Okay. The mystery has been solved. That extra bulb right there, believe it or not, it comes from Porsche on the passenger side of US cars, and it does nothing. They give you a pigtail, they give you the socket, you can plug a bulb in, nothing will happen. And that's because in Europe, they have a requirement when you put the fog lights on, you have one fog light in the rear on the driver's side that illuminates. Now, I'm not really sure whether in Europe the driver's side is on the right or the left. Who knows? In England, I know they drive on the wrong side of the road. Here, we drive on the right side of the road. So this light right there is for the fog light. And it only comes on when your fog lights are in the second position on the switch. And I'll show you that. Okay, here is the explanation for how the headlight switch on a Porsche 996 works. Right now, the switch is in the off position. And let me zoom in on that. And you can see that little dot there means it's off. If you go to the right, clockwise, one click, that's your parking light. They will come on regardless of the position of the key. So you don't need a key in, it doesn't have to be on. However, if you turn this 2 clicks, that's your headlight position. Parking light, headlight position. Now, your headlights will not come on until you insert a key and turn it on. That's when the headlights come on. Same thing with brake lights. On the Porsche, brake lights don't work unless the ignition key is on. Now, if you pull the headlight switch 1 click out, pulling it out this way towards the rear of the car, the fog lights in the front come on. I call them driving lights because they work great as driving lights, but they're technically fog lights. Now, the rear fog light that is only on the driver's side or left side does not come on in that driving light position, driving/fog light position. It only comes on when you do a second click, pulling this out one more time. Now the rear fog light on the driver's side will illuminate, not the passenger side. Yes, there's a bulb there. Yes, there's a socket there. Nothing will happen. And actually, if you bought your car and you opened it up, the right rear tail light lens will have nothing in that socket. That's the way it ships, and that socket doesn't even work. So you put a bulb in there, you wasted your money and your time. Now, turn off the fog lights. Headlights are still on. Another thing, if your fog lights/driving lights are on and you put your high beams on, what will happen is the fog lights up front automatically turn off. Only the high beams are on. So we turn that fog light off, put it back to the middle position. You'll note that there are 2 more positions here. One has an arrow going right and one has an arrow going left. And that's to indicate which rear light you're turning on. It turns on a dim, like parking light, and depending on whether you put this switch in the top position, which is right, or the bottom position, which is left, that's the rear tail light that's going to come on. Now, what is that used for? In Europe, you're supposed to, when you park, because the streets are really narrow and dangerous, they turn on a parking light. Now, I believe the parking light that's supposed to be on is the one opposite the curb. In other words, the one closest to the traffic in the street. And that way they know your car is there and they don't hit you. So, when you park in Europe, if you park on the right side, then you're going to pull this, and that's the right side with your front facing forward and your passenger tires closest to the curb, you put the left one on. And that allows people to say, oh, there's his car, so they don't ram into you. Now, if you happen to park on the other side of the street, let's say you pull in so the driver's side is close to the curb on the left, then you're going to pull this, turn it one click, and let it go. And then it'll go to the right turn signal, which is the passenger turn signal closest to the traffic in the street, and let everybody know you're there. Remember, you can only put it in these two positions if you pull first, pull, then turn, then release. All right, and that's also how you turn it off. So that's all you're going to get out of me on that switch. So now we're back at the project. That's the rear LED light installation. It's an eBay Taiwanese light. And it did not come with these two bulbs. So they don't give you a reverse bulb LED. They don't give you the fog light bulb. We're going to use the regular incandescent bulb for the fog light. I'm going to leave that on because it's rarely ever going to get used. I don't need to switch that to LED. But the reverse lights, I would like them to be LED and I would like them to be bright. So I did a little research and here's what I came up with. There is a light brand called LazFit or LaserFit, or I don't know how they pronounce it, but it's LazFit. Now, they run about $15. You can get them on eBay, you can get them on Amazon. This is what they look like. LED lightings, LazFit, and they have a strange looking light to them. That is a heat sink, and then they've got LEDs on both sides. So, let me open this for you and show you what it is we're dealing with. Of course, they make this package very difficult so that nobody can steal their bulbs, their precious bulbs. These are about $8 a piece, so they are a little on the expensive side. There's the bulb. It's only got one contact on it because it's not a signal bulb, and we're going to put it in to the reverse light and turn. Then we're going to mount it on the upper bulb right here in this housing, which is the reverse light. We're going to take the aforementioned fog light and we're going to plug that in. Actually, we've kind of run out of cord again. So I'm going to have to undo this tape here in order to be able to stretch this bulb over to that socket. So what we'll do is we'll go off camera, as Tubal Cain always says. Okay, back on camera. So what I did was I took this little piece of electrical tape off. It was over here. I took it off and then I put it back on over here. And that allows me to have a longer length for this fog light bulb. And I'll put the fog light bulb in and twist, and it's good to go. One of the drains fell off, one of the 7 drains. So I'll put that back on, and there you have it. We are now good to go. We should be able to install this, and we should be good. Now it also comes with its own bolt right there. I'm going to reuse the factory bolt. But I'll take this off. It's still a 10 millimeter, and it's going into plastic. I'll probably check the threads to make sure that it is the same size as the factory bulb. And it's a pretty long bolt. So what we'll do is we put in, there's a little tab on the left hand side here, and it goes around a plastic piece, or it's supposed to. There we go. And then you've got 2 little nubs there. And then we're going to compare these 2 bolts. It's considerably longer than the factory bolt. I don't know, yep, it is necessary because the factory bolt will no longer reach the housing. So you have to use the bolt that comes with it. It's a 10 millimeter. And so we'll put that in. And now what we're going to do is, we've already tested it, but we're going to test it one more time, and then we'll do the driver's side. Don't over torque those, just snug enough. All right, our lights are installed. So let's see what they look like. Parking lights. Those are super bright. I don't think you can tell on the camera, but they're very, very bright. Now we have our brake lights, even brighter. And our turn signal lights. And of course we've got those are the emergencies. The turn signals are flashing very quickly. If you want to slow those down, you can install a resistor. I'm fine with it. And now finally for the reverse, the last fit reverse lights. Super bright. That's like sunshine. And there you have it. Thanks for watching another How to Heaven video. This one on eBay LED lights for the Porsche 996.